How to stay in a castle in Portugal on a budget. Portugal is famous for its explorers, its wine, and its dramatic coastline. But did you know that you can also spend the night in a real medieval castle? Thanks to Portugal's Pousadas program, many ancient fortresses and palaces have been turned into affordable hotels. Tonight, we're stepping inside 3 incredible Portuguese castles that you can actually stay in, from cliffside strongholds to medieval towns, for as little as $150 a night. Castle number 1, Pousada Castelo de Óbidos. It's in central Portugal, and it's our first stop, a 12th century fortress that became known as the Town of the Queens after King Alfonso II gifted it to his wife in 1210, a tradition Portuguese queens have enjoyed for centuries. A little history: the core was first fortified by the Moors around the 8th and 19th centuries, and in 1148, Portugal's first king, Alfonso Henriques, seized Óbidos during the Christian Reconquista. The walls that you walk today protected a royal town through medieval wars and Renaissance makeovers. In 1441, child king Afonso V married Isabella of Coimbra here, a royal wedding at the age of 10. People and culture are incredible. The Óbidos still feels like living in a medieval village. Whitewashed homes are everywhere. They're trimmed in cobalt blue. There are family bakeries, wine stalls, and artisans hammering tin and painting tiles. Every July, the town hosts a medieval fair, so think knights, minstrels, market stalls, and in Holy Week, Catholic processions wind through the lanes, candles glowing against the stone. It's absolutely beautiful. The religion in this area, the Church of Santa Maria, was the royal wedding site, and it remains the spiritual heartbeat of the city. Feast days and processions still set the rhythm of the year. Here's what you're going to eat in and around the castle. There's salt cod, which is done a dozen different ways, grilled sardines, roast lamb, convent sweets, and local treats that are cherry liquor, often served in chocolate cups. The price is usually $160 to $200 a night, depending on the season. Óbidos was one of the first castles converted into a posada in 1951. And since then, it's welcomed tens of thousands of guests every year, especially during the medieval fair and the chocolate festival. Well, we cannot avoid the chocolate festival. This is when the occupancy is most full. From Lisbon, it's an easy 1-hour drive via the A8, and if you prefer public transit, the Rita Expressos buses run from Campo Grande in Lisbon to Óbidos in just about 60 minutes. So hop on a bus and end up in this incredible, magical town. Castle number 2, Pousada Castelo de Palmela. It's near Lisbon, just south of Lisbon, high above the vineyards and the Atlantic, and that's where it sits, Castelo de Palmela. It's a fortress with a foot in 2 worlds. Let me give you a little history. It was built and expanded under the Moors. Palmela was captured in 1147 as Lisbon fell to the Christians. In 1185, it became headquarters of the Knights of Santiago, which was a Catholic military order that guarded the approaches to Lisbon for centuries. By the 15th century, it was a monastery fortress. Prayer cloisters inside battle walls. Humans are so interesting. This is Setúbal wine country. Families here are winemakers. They're fishermen and olive growers, and the harvest season brings street music, folk dancing, long tables piled with grilled fish. These are the kind of experiences that you want to experience in your lifetime. The Knights' Catholic legacy, it still lingers. So you can see convent arches and chapels within the complex. And the harvest blessing during the wine festivals blends faith with everyday life. These are experiences you don't want to miss. Now, here's what you're going to eat when you're there. At the Posada and the nearby taverns, you're going to have choco frito, which is a fried cuttlefish, grilled sea bass, lamb stew, sheep's cheeses, paired with the moscatel de Setúbal and other local whites and reds. The price Listen, only $150 a night. One of Portugal's best value castle stays. And if you stay with a friend, we're talking $75 a night. Let me give you a couple extra details. Palmela was transformed into a posada in 1969. It attracts about 30,000 to 35,000 guests annually, thanks to its close proximity to Lisbon, just an hour outside of town, and its panoramic views of vineyards and the Tagus River Valley. Getting there from the airport, it's about 50-minute drive on the A2. Public transport works too. You can take the Orient to Palmela by train, which is just about an hour, and then a short taxi ride up to the castle. So there's really no reason not to do this. When you go, do it in September for the Palmela Wine Festival, because then you'll experience the parades, the tastings, and the vineyard events with hilltop views out to the sea. Castle 3, Posada Castello de Extremos. Head east into the wide open Alentejo, where time moves on the village clocks. On a marble ridge stands Castello de Extremos, built by King Dinis in the 13th century for his wife Queen Isabel, later canonized as Saint Isabel of Portugal. Look at all these men building castles for their wives. Makes you wonder why we don't have that happening today. Here's a little history. Extremos was both royal residence and frontier bastion in wars with Castile. Its 27-meter or 88-foot marble keep served as an outlook and a last defense. In the 17th century Restoration War, the town was refortified as Portugal wrested its independence from Spain. Queen Isabel died here in 1336, the famous miracle of the roses, bread turning to roses as she smuggled food to the poor. This cemented her sainthood in 1625. The Alentejo is a cork forest. There are sheep bells and long lunches. Extremos is known for Saturday markets, which are overflowing with gorgeous pottery, cured meats, cheeses, and old tools. It's the real working Portugal. Saint Isabel remains the town's patron. Each July, a religious procession carries her image through the streets lined with flowers. And faith here is intimate and communal. There's baptisms, feast days, and pilgrimages still fill the calendar. You're going to eat some of the most amazing food here. At the Posada, you'll have black pork with migas, which is a garlicky bread. It's got lamb stews, serpa cheeses, and incredible red wines. Expect a hearty, slow-cooked, flavored meal. Typically, the price is $170 to $200 a night to stay in the castle. And let me just tell you a couple more things that I think kind of interesting. Extremos was turned into a posada in 1970. And it's since become one of the most visited posadas in Alentejo, which is hosting over 20,000 guests a year. Many of them are drawn by its connection to Queen Isabel and its marble tower. It's really easy to get there from Lisbon Airport, just 1.5 hours by car on the A6. There are also buses that exist. They'll take about 2.5 to 3 hours. Those are a little more infrequent. Renting a car gives you freedom to explore the vineyards and the hill towns. And I highly suggest you go in May because that's when the Festival of Clay and Wine is happening. And you're going to see artisans firing pottery, cellar tastings, and lively music in the square. This whole region is filled with culture and energy, and it's a beautiful experience. I cannot recommend it more. Portugal's map was drawn across centuries of Moorish rule, and Christian Reconquista, dynastic marriages, and border wars with Spain have created so many castles. By the 1900s, many strongholds were crumbling. In 1941, Portugal launched the Posadas program to save the castle, the palaces, and the monasteries by turning them into heritage hotels, which is so smart, and it keeps the history alive and accessible for everyone. Today, Portugal's Posadas welcome hundreds of thousands of guests annually, with castle hotels like Obidas, Palmela, and Extremos ranking amongst the most popular. I highly recommend that you travel between April and June, or later in the year, September through October, so you get lower prices and the weather is cooler. Midweek is cheaper than weekends, so if you stay during the week, you're going to save even more money. Search Posada or Castello Stay on the big booking sites. Many rates include breakfast and sometimes wine tastings and guided tours. And if you're with friends, like I always recommend, you can split a larger room and live large for less. So whether you're sipping inside Obita's wall some delicious wines, or pairing choco frito with muscatel and palmilla, or dining on black pork beneath Estremos's marble tower, Portugal's castles let you live like royalty. Without a royal price tag, royalty is not just for the royals. That's why the Frugal Aristocrat here is trying to show you how to live like royalty as well. And the best part, you can do it for just $150 a night. Woo! Now let's watch the rest of my castle playlists and go learn about France castles and German castles and Irish and English and Spanish castles. And subscribe to the Frugal Aristocrat, because I'm giving you the best information for how you can live a luxurious life spending smart. I'll see you in the next video.